Hello, how's everybody doing? Checking the sound, checking the picture, and starting out. Okay, content. So we did get actual new subscribers on YouTube. Look at that. Interesting. Okay. All right, so we are live. Good. Sound is good too. So without further ado, let's cover some things. Thanks to all the whales. Whales are rock and rolling. We would like I will cover some of the conversations that we had earlier this week. But thanks to whales, we are at 38 nodes today. We ran the statistic earlier this week regarding council versus whale split. The council versus whale split is roughly, well, about 29% is council. Maybe now with 38 nodes, maybe we're looking at 27. Let's just round this down to 25% is council, which is a quarter. Yet 3/4 is the whales, the you guys. And that's extremely exciting for me personally. Means decentralization is all the way. And we need to bring more nodes. So the council is aware of it as well. So the council is hopefully working on more nodes or not. Up to them. But the whales should move forward. And of course, that brings some interesting risks. Let's not forget about the 51% risk, 51% attack. So it's a good problem to have, to be had, to be honest. Some people say, "Oh, it's bad." It's very unstable for a system such as whatever blockchain Web3 to have this attack in the first place. But it is, in fact, a good problem to be had because it means that somebody cares to compromise your network. And yes, of course, when you have 10 nodes and 51% attack is 6 nodes, sure. But when the number of nodes is growing, and not only that, but you can grow them in a permissionless fashion, meaning that you can become a node yourself with no restrictions. Nobody needs to vote you in. You just become a validator, and now you're also participating in the consensus. Well, that's different. Good morning, Crypto Bureau. Good morning. Good morning. So it's a very different story. Um, what happened this week specifically? So we are a little bit behind on updates on which chains we beat as far as decentralization. I will share an article in particular that I shared in the Whales group regarding IOTA. But check this out. So we have Ghost at 38 nodes as of today. We beat Hedera. We beat Theta Network. Coti. I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation. Coti, whatever. COTI. And Say Network is next with 39 nodes. It's also important to look at the market cap. So for this particular scenario, we're looking at Hedera, my personal favorite, at 5 billion market cap. That's history now. Theta, 1.9 billion market cap. That's history now. COTI, 1.9 billion as well. So and then we got Say with 2.7 billion. So all of them are in billions of dollars of market capitalization. Of course, we're not trying to hint anything here, but the comparables are comparables. What's the market cap of Ghost? We don't know, right? We don't know. We will find out once we launch Ghost DAO. That's going to be our price engine, decentralized price engine, a price engine, and also liquidity engine. So that's very interesting. Another thing that we launched. Let me switch screens. 1 second. boom. Yeah, this one. So this new file, and thank you Wales for updating it, for helping update it. So what you do is, for those of you who are not sure, I think the only person who is not who did not fill out his is Audrey. So please do, whenever you have a chance, do this on a daily basis. So what you guys do is you just copy, like you run this command, you copy that command in here. You run your command in your CMD, in your command line. You are copying that that code base, well, that code line in here. These fields will automatically be populated by the formula. And then all you do is copy these fields, like do not copy the last line, just copy these fields here, copy, and paste them into your respective column. So what I would do for me, I would, paste my stuff here. In fact, maybe I should do it now. Let me do this right now. So on a separate screen, again, I'm pretty sure like most of you guys know exactly what to do. So most of you guys did it perfectly. So boom, let me just copy paste. So I just went ahead and pasted this result, right? So I got only 8 peers today. So boom, 8 peers. And all I'm doing is paste special values, boom, and I'm erasing these ones, right? Because I saw the 12 peers yesterday. Today I see only 8. Things change. That's a network. And then I'm back in my machine. I'm back to the journal minus F minus U ghost node, journal CTL, right? Now, the reason why we have to do this at this point of time before telemetry is live, this is super preliminary, is this gives us a very good idea of how many actual peers we have, how many nodes we actually have. So it's 38 this week. I think we're moving by roughly 10 nodes per week. Of course, we cannot expect every single week to have 10 nodes in particular, but the more the better. The more the merrier at this point of time, with the notion of quality over quantity. Good morning, Mr. IDK. Shara, good morning as well. And Sandeep, good evening. Your time. So ideally, we all do this. So far, how many people participating in this exercise? It needs to be done on a daily basis. Very simple. 14 people. So 14 users in Wales. Thank you so much. So the more the better. And we can get this this population close to reality. Okay, so that's that. But let me copy paste this article if I'm able to find it that I really wanted to discuss. I didn't get much feedback from you guys in the Wales, and maybe we get it now. So IOTA welcomes leading validators as testnet era begins. November 29, 2024. Now, for the record, let's maybe find out how many funds IOTA raised to date. IOTA funding. So you go to the raised. Sometimes this information is available, sometimes it's not available. So I think, yeah, so they say what, 615,000? I had to raise 655,000. I'm not sure if that's correct. 2021, they existed way before 2021. I really doubt these are the numbers. These numbers here could actually be more realistic. We'll see. 530, so that's what, 700, 1.2 mil, 1.5, 2 mil, 2 point something mil. Maybe these numbers are accurate. I'm not sure. I actually really doubt that's the case. I think they raised a lot more than that. But if they did raise only 2 million, that's actually a great idea. Well, check. Oh, that's IOTA software. I'm not sure that's the same. IOTA ecosystem commits. Okay, so they raised money, right? So we need to figure out exactly how much. In any case, so with all these funds, I remember IOTA was extremely popular. It was one of the DAGs, the killer of blockchain. I was on some panels with IOTA representatives back in the day. When, not gonna name years, but that was before 2020. So check this out. Major validators such as Nansen, Anchor, TwinStake, and Beware Labs bring valuable infrastructure and expertise, enhancing IOTA's scalability, efficiency, and overall blockchain capabilities. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 node operators. And the thing is, it seems like literally that's 4 node operators. Like it means like it's 4 nodes. Chances are every single node has like some massive, insane requirements. Maybe we should look them up as well. But at first I was like, maybe these companies give access to node operators. Like maybe you can sign up as a node operator through Anchor. But it seems like that's not true. It seems like Anchor is a node, TwinStake is a node, Nansen is a node. So the likes of Anchor, an infrastructure provider Web3 that handles over 8 billion RPC requests every day, also signed on through its newer blockchain. Anchor also has innovative partnerships, whatever. So again, it seems like this is just some B2B onboarding people, whatever, that will be running the chain. Thank you, Ojan. You did? I don't think you did. I don't think you did. Let's put that into the spreadsheet. Unless you see 8 peers. I see you, Ojan. I see you. So maybe try it again. Unless again you see 8 nodes. Or 8 peers. If you see 8 peers, then copy paste this thing. Oh, see, is it me? No, it's me still. I don't think you pasted it. But try it again. Try it again now. Okay, so in any case, so going back to IOTA. So with 4 nodes, and we had a question last week. I forgot who it was. I think it was Abu asking, how can we possibly, compete with all these big names and I also hear from some people, and that's a great question. I hear from some people the feedback of if Ghost is not backed by a big time VC, then the project is going to fail. And I hear this actually quite often. I don't hear it from every single person I'm speaking with, but maybe I'm hearing this from 5 or 10% of people I'm speaking with. And this just shows me that these people have no fucking idea how things work. If there's a big time VC backing your project, what do you think they're going to do to you? They really care about your, financial future? They don't give a shit. They will be using every opportunity to screw you over. That big time VC, they give zero shits about you, right? In fact, not only that, they will be using you, your funds, everything. They'll be manipulating, the vision, the sentiment, whatever, to milk you as much as possible. You being a user. So when there is a big time VC, it's actually counterproductive. What makes Bitcoin so special, for example, they have big time VCs, not one big time VC or a group of VCs. They have a group of united, collected VCs. No, they have all types of different stakeholders that battle with each other on a consistent basis. Good morning, B. So they're just battling with each other on a super consistent basis. And okay, you have MicroStrategy battling with Marathon, battling with the Federal Reserve, battling with the Trump administration, with the IRS, FBI, right? I'm talking about those regulators because they own a significant stake in Bitcoin, or they compete with the Germany regulators as well, who also have lots of Bitcoin because the Bitcoin has been arrested or whatever, confiscated. So you have different types of stakeholders who battle with each other, and that's decentralized. That's the whole point. And none of them can really take control. And that's the beautiful part. When there's one big time VC backing your project, sure, you will be able to write a piece of news in crypto-news.flash.com website. Congratulations. You may also be able to, write another piece of article on Yahoo Finance. Okay, great. That's amazing. But doesn't give you anything else. You'll be able to pump the price, but then after the pump, the dump will follow, and it will follow harsh. And the only reason I believe the current, tokens are all pumped, like for example, Neo, the blockchain we beat last week, based on the notes, they went up 4x. On what? What type of news? Well, because everything's pumping. The reason why they're being pumped is it's just some low volume. The exchanges will try to pump and collect the fees. That's perfect opportunity for exchanges to make money. They can pump and dump. They don't care. And then there's also potential for some VCs behind it, VCs, hedge funds, asset managers to pump these tokens and then essentially collect money on market making or just pump and dump dump the whole thing on the users. Okay, fine. Big time VC will help you with that. That's about it, right? So we don't need big time VCs. In fact, we need the opposite. Any good project needs the opposite. It needs actual fans who will be maintaining the protocol no matter what. From the chains currently like that do have that, again, I mentioned Bitcoin, obviously. Obviously, we have Dogecoin. We also have Monero. Monero is a great freaking protocol. We also have, again, keep mentioning this Olympus DAO. We have sometimes Uniswap. What like Ethereum Classic, Gnosis. There's some really good chains out there with really good communities out there. I don't necessarily like Cardano per se, but Cardano versus many other blockchains is absolutely favorably, winning based on the consensus, based on the governance, based on the decentralization. So definitely one of the top chains as well. So now IOTA, we have 4 new fucking nodes. Congratulations. And that's exactly the irony that we all need to understand. Like we need to really ingrain this into our thinking. If Sergio goes ahead and brings 2 more nodes, and then we have Shinra and the crew, right? And they start running another 5 nodes. That's going to be, let's assume Sergio brings 5. Shinra crew brings 5. So now we have 10. Those 10 nodes will bring more decentralization than these fuckers at IOTA with Nansen, Anchor, TwinStake, and Beware, and all of these are multi-million, most likely, some of them are billion-dollar companies with market cap at least of $1 billion. And that's the whole point. Like, that's exactly kind of the question that you need to ask is, okay, fine, the market cap will grow maybe at some point of time for IOTA because of the backers. Okay, because now it's like FOMO, oh, let's go. Sure. But let's just answer this question. You have IOTA with, let's assume, 20 validators. Actually, let me check how many validators they have. We have all that information, don't we? Maybe we don't. 1 second. IOTA, we don't have that information because I think I wasn't even able to find how many validators they have because that's how decentralized they are because they publish their node operators everywhere. That was obviously sarcastic. So would you trust IOTA, let's assume with 20 validators, to operate? You are a user. You want to put not $1, not $5. You want to put a significant amount. You want to put, say, $100,000 or $1 million. Or let's assume your whole net worth is 10,000. You want to put 10,000 on that blockchain. Will you put $10,000 of your money, of your TVL, onto IOTA with 20 validators? Or would you be more comfortable buying, let's assume, not Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is an edge case, but say Dogecoin, right? Because Dogecoin is equally risky as IOTA. Which one? But Dogecoin has 16,000 validators, and IOTA has 20. And that's just because these 20 validators are some big-time companies with multi-billion-dollar. You don't give a shit as a user. You really don't give a shit because it's only 20 validators. Right? Versus Dogecoin with 16,000 validators. What you know will happen with Dogecoin, the price volatility will be high, but what you know for sure that you're not going to be screwed. The network will most likely not get compromised by 51% attack. Nothing can be rewritten. The funds will be safe. You will not lose Dogecoins. You may lose the dollar equivalent of these Dogecoins because of the price volatility, sure, but the Dogecoins will be safe. Can you be safe with your IOTA? If you put your entire net worth into IOTA, and then you forget about this for the next 20 years. Will you be comfortable? And I'll tell you why I personally won't be comfortable. I won't be comfortable with A, not enough validators. Right? They can screw me over, they can compromise the network, 51% attack. B, these 20 fucking validators can do some weird shit. They can say, oh, now every single wallet has to go through KYC. Specific example, Linea blockchain, testnet. We've been doing something this week. And guess what? On the testnet, Linea testnet, Linea Sepolia testnet, we cannot send transactions out of certain regions to a smart contract on a testnet. It's fucking insane. And we love Linea, but it's insane. It's already it's crazy. Through MetaMask, you cannot send transactions on a testnet. Like, why? How? How is that even fucking possible? It's a fucking testnet. Like, these tokens worth nothing. But they have to oblige. It's not decentralized enough. Linea is not decentralized. It's an L2. And they know that it's not decentralized. And of course, they have to oblige by all the laws and regulations. In Europe, they have to oblige by the European laws. In the US, they have to oblige by the US laws. Whatever crazy these laws are. And you don't have to do much when it's Bitcoin, for example, because it's permissionless. Or Ethereum. So mainnet Ethereum, I can transact no matter what. Right? Technically, like let me just put a very bad example. An American and a person from an OFAC country, such as Iran, they can communicate with each other over Ethereum network. And regulators can do nothing about it. Why? Because it's actually permissionless. Now, Ethereum is considered to be a public good. You cannot stop wind from blowing. You cannot arrest the hurricane. Hey, hurricane, I'm arresting you. I'm a regulator from FBI. I'm arresting you. You can't do shit because it's public good. Same thing, Ethereum, you cannot do shit. Bitcoin, you cannot do shit. And hopefully we're going to get more clarity in some countries like the United States very soon with the new person heading the SEC. We'll see. I doubt we'll get any clarity, to be honest, but you know, I'll be glad to be proven wrong. But in any case, with IOTA, that's not decentralized enough. So the first thing is these guys can create all types of different weird freaking things. As far as KYC the wallet, or you cannot send transactions to this wallet because that wallet is a KYC from another country, like all this bullshit. That's the first thing you can do. Second thing they can do is since the network is not getting any traction, today it's 20 validators, tomorrow it's 18 validators. The day after it's 16. And slowly but surely the network is just not operational. So will you be comfortable just sticking your stuff there for 20 years? Probably not. I know it's an edge case. It's a very specific ask. But moreover, like if IOTA in particular does not have any way to trade and cash out your tokens, and it's not connected, it's an isolated island, then what can you do with these tokens? Well, you can only bring them to centralized exchanges. But if IOTA loses popularity, then most exchanges will not accept it. It's not even about the price point. It's more about the liquidity point. You will need to find the exchange. And then if you go to a centralized exchange, what's going to happen is, well, let's assume you're from the United States, and then this exchange is located in China. Well, now you cannot operate. Let's assume you're from Europe, European Union, and the exchange is out of, I don't know, Northern Cyprus. Oh, no, you cannot do anything with them. Oh, how crazy is that? Right? So it's like all this type of like things you cannot do shit about. So now, being an isolated island at IOTA, what can you do? Right? Like, and that's why these chains to begin with are screwed. They are haunted. They're not haunted by ghost, but they're haunted. Shinra and the guys, thank you so much. So we had some calls with some whales, some group of whales, and I appreciate the Ghostbusters and some other lingo. So yeah, so now we're trying to introduce more of this ghosty lingo, and if you guys could do that too, let's go. Because when we say the ghost is haunting the Web3 space, that's pretty cool. So whoever created that thing is pretty interesting. The passage, we should really be integrating this everywhere. So yeah, so that's the guys. It's 2024. These IOTA people still don't fucking understand what decentralization means. It's crazy to me. They still don't get it. It's been like come on. I understand if you don't get this in 2017, but 2024, God. Okay. Now another thing that resonated with me on the last call was something very interesting. This message from Abu. From Anubov. Yeah, how can we compete with these blockchains? And that's a very, very like interesting. Like we keep saying, oh, like every single node is priced at a $10 million, dollars, $11 million per node. Apps, okay, fine, that's statistics. But how can we possibly compete? We don't have Andreessen Horowitz backing us up. We are destined to fail. Okay, so let's look at this Excel spreadsheet. So another thing that we started collecting is not just these are all the blockchains based on number of nodes. So you're looking at this column here, nodes, right? So they're sorted by this column. So you go here, it's Chilis, right? As you remember, we beat them like a long time ago. We are somewhere here at 38 nodes. We're right between COTI and SEI network, right? We beat my favorite Hedera, Theta. We beat them all. Ronin, obviously, we beat. Ronin Bridge, by the way, got like it's like every like 6 months the Ronin Bridge gets hacked. It's like a schedule. It's like somebody needs money. Oh, now let's do it. Let's pull off an internal hack. Of course, I cannot comment whether that was internal, but it's crazy. Like I read, like yet again, it got hacked for $650 million the first time, and recently got hacked for like another some millions of dollars. It's crazy. It gets hacked like every 6 months. Very decentralized, of course. sarcastic. So okay, so that's cool. But so let's say we have the number of nodes right here in this column. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe let's make it. For the sake of this exercise, purple, right? So you guys see it. Okay, cool. So okay, purple column that shows the number of nodes in ascending order. Cool. But another interesting statistic is how much money these blockchains raised. Like how much money was raised by these projects? And interestingly enough, again, conversely to what I thought, some blockchains are actually trying to, not raise as much. Yes, you have, Neo Protocol 105 million. Dollars raised, IOTEX raised 70 million. It's crazy. Ronin Bridge raised 150 after the hack. But with Axie Infinity, they raised like, I think 10 or 20 mil. Theta Network 134 million. There are 300 million. Like it's like these numbers, guys, it's crazy. Like some of these numbers, like when compared, like they could represent well enough percentage of GDPs of certain countries. Let alone if these raises have been ICO raises when Ethereum was $150 per Ethereum and now it's like 4,000, it's like 20x. Imagine how much money these projects have. They don't need to fucking develop anything. Why would they need that? They raise the money, now it's let's assume they raise hypothetically 150 million at $150 per Ethereum. Now Ethereum is 4,000, multiply this roughly by 30. They're looking at $4.5 billion. That's a GDP of a small nation. $4.5 billion. They don't need anything. They don't need to develop tech. Why would they need that? They just sit on salaries. Life is good. And that's the situation with most of these blockchains. So we have Say network with 92 million with COTI 22. But then we have some tiny networks with pretty interesting market caps. So the market cap, say for this network, AIOZ, they raised 1.3 million, if I'm not mistaken. I have a link for that. Not a lot of money they raised. The market cap is $800 million. Now, of course, the question is it pumped? Is it not pumped? The reason why I'm asking is lots of you guys don't remember Celsius, but it was pretty clear before kind of this whole situation. It was pretty clear on essentially how to accommodate for the volume. So what Celsius was doing, and I saw that before, and some other projects too, but Celsius in particular, it was interesting to see that the trading volume was like 0.00 of the circulating supply. So it was more or less obvious that the token was more or less pumped on very weak volume. So the question is, again, I'm not accusing anybody. I didn't do that analysis yet, but it would be nice to see kind of like the circulating supply versus daily trading volume of networks that didn't raise much. But if they did, that's a possibility, right? 1.3 million raise, and we're looking at 800 million market cap. Nobody talks about the success story if this is a success story. But if it is, which is legitimate, that's an 800x return. That's insane, right? For some of the investors who invested. That's very, very cool. Maybe less than 800, but that's very, very cool stuff. And then you have, like Realio, this network here, right? There is 500,000, right? And they're looking at 100 million market cap. Again, I've never heard about this network. Like, I really didn't. They have 69 nodes. What a telling number. But that's kind of what we're talking about here. That we don't necessarily need to raise lots of money. We don't need to have, again, if these numbers are not faked, if these numbers are not manipulated. These are really, really interesting success stories that indicates that the power of community is everything, right? We keep, we see in the news Axelar Bridge, yeah, but they raised $113 million. This other network that is really, 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 really telling is, where is this? Secret Network. I love that one. Secret Network. We had communication with the Secret Network. They're pro-privacy, blah, blah, blah. What was interesting on the call with the Secret Network, when we started showing diagrams of Ghost, again, we were under the impression, allegedly, that's not a accusation, but allegedly we felt that representatives of the Secret Network were taking screenshots of Ghost diagrams. After which we stopped immediately sharing the screen. That was 2020/2021. But interesting scenario with the Secret Network. They raised $411 million, and the market cap is $170 million. That's insane to me. That's insane to me. And 70 nodes. And now question, who is better? Them with 71 nodes or Ghost with 38 nodes? Yes, we half of them, sure, but I hope it's a matter of time before we get to 71 nodes. That's like really something for us to consider. Nothing is impossible. I think what most of these networks are missing, and of course we're gonna populate all these fundraising here. I think what most of these blockchain networks are missing is the massive power of community. They are missing the Web3 angle. So we keep asking this question to ourselves, and you guys should be asking this question, to you, to yourselves, maybe in the group. How is Ghost 10x better than the competition? Like, how are we so much better that other users will have no, how to say, like, they'll have no resistance but to join us. Like, how can that be achieved? And the answer is, one of the answers, as we have been discussing, is authenticity, right? Like, we actually Web3, and it's so obvious, such an obvious answer. Sager, good morning. It's such an obvious answer that all we do, we just kind of use the tech of Web3 how it was supposed to be used. It's just that there's so much fake stuff happening in Web3. There's so much Web 2.5. It populated the Web3 space so much that simple, authentic stuff is becoming rare. It's very similar. If you guys in developed countries, you know this better. If you guys in developing nations, you don't know this yet. So in developed countries, Europe, um, Japan, U.S., you go and buy fruits and vegetables, right? The basic stuff, and that stuff all tastes like plastic, like cardboard. Like, they don't smell because there's so much, so much GMO. It's like crazy, so much chemicals in it. And then, but if you want to go just buy like a tomato, um, how do you do this? Well, you go to a special store. You go to a farm, like a special market, like a farming market, or you go to like some special, like, overpriced store, and you buy that same natural organic fruit or vegetable for like 5x the price. And it's crazy. Like, I just want my fucking tomato. No, you can't get it. Here's your chemical tomato, and here's your organic tomato. How it was supposed to be done, but like at 10x the price or 5x the price, whatever. So it's crazy. Same thing with meat. So developing nations don't really have that yet, thank goodness. But developed countries, there's like this massive trend of cutting costs through chemicals, good or bad, whatever. But that's the real. Same thing with us. Same thing with Ghost. It's so rare to see anything Web3 nowadays. Like, with all due respect, Secret Network, like, just let's get back to them. Secret Network, like, $411 million raised, and you can only do 70 fucking one nodes? Come on. Come on. Okay, Axel, you are, writing everywhere on every single website that you are the most decentralized bridge out there. Congratulations. 75 nodes is extremely fucking decentralized. I don't even know, again, if these nodes are validators. These are nodes, not necessarily validators. Maybe they're just stakers. Maybe they're just archived nodes. I don't know, right? Like, I didn't dive in, but that's the total nodes, 75. So you raised $100 million to produce 75 nodes? Guys, come on. Like, Ghost is at 38. Thanks to whales, right? But that's the reality. And that's exactly, like, we should be like scratching this thinking that, oh, like, we don't have like $100 million funding, so we cannot compete with Axel. Of course we can. In fact, it's easier for us to compete with Axelar because we don't have any restrictions. Nobody can tell us what not to do. We can do whatever the fuck we want. That's the beautiful part, and we will. We can do any type of guerrilla marketing. We can do any type of stuff we want. Within reason, obviously, but look at how much stuff Axelar cannot do, or how much stuff Secret Network cannot do. They just can't, right? So ICO or not doesn't matter. They can't. So that's a very interesting stuff, very interesting development for us. Okay, last thing that I would like to cover today. If you guys have any questions, please ask. Let's go back to PowerPoint, and how come it's not? 1 second. There we go. All right, let me go back to PowerPoint right here. You guys see it. Yes. Okay. So this is compliments to Kitsune. That's the screen that I use from him. I was a little lazy to run it myself yet. On my CMD. So let's do a little bit of questionnaire, question and answer. Maybe shall we? Okay. No rewards for these questions, just questions, and you guys can participate in the chat. So this is going to be delaying my questions. So let's go. First question: how many nodes are in the Genesis block of validators currently for the Ghost testnet 2.0? So the question is, how many validators are encoded into the Genesis block of validators of Ghost testnet 2.0? Please respond in the comments. You gotta have this questionnaire. So your guesses, or I mean, if you follow the chat, the answer is obvious. I just don't want to share the answer. I'll be quiet for some time. 10. Joel, 10 is accurate. 10 is exactly right. Good. Now, what is the total supply? Look at this screen. What is the total supply of tokens that we have currently within this testnet 2.0? Anybody can put the answer. The answers are all on this screen, by the way, that I'm sharing right now. So again, what's the total supply of the tokens on Ghost testnet 2.0? If anybody can tell me. Exactly. Mr. IDK, congratulations. That's correct. 12 million. No. That's testnet. Okay. So now the question is, how much therefore, what's the total supply per node at this point of time? How much of that stuff is done? So again, so we have 1,000, roughly 1,000. So how much each person gets? Or each person got per node? Of course not. That's not correct. 59.9 damage to IDK, that's a good guess, but no. So again, we have 1,000. So we have 1,000 total supply, but we only have 10 validators. So how much each person got? This number is not on. This number is not on the screen. This number is logic. A little bit of computation. It's a super easy answer. No. Not 31 Zafira. So, okay, let's do it one more time. Sorry. 100, of course. Mr. Adike, you're correct. 100, yes. Because we have 10 validators and 1,000 supply. Now, the reason why it's more than 1,000 supply is we are taken. The validators are taken a little bit of what? So now the question is, what is CSPR? Anybody can put this like CSPR. What CSPR? That's a CSPR token. Total supply, yes, Zafira, exactly. Total supply divided by 10, that was 100. So there was 1,000 divided by 10. Now, CSPR, what does it stand for? Yeah, that's the problem with YouTube. There's a little bit of delay. Casper, of course. So CSPR stands for Casper. Joel, yes, congratulations. So we have Casper testnet, right? So the testnet 2.0 is really Casper testnet. So that's why you have CSPR tokens, right? Instead of Ghost tokens. Now, if we see the 31, some of you guys, if you said that, and to some extent, Mr. Adike kind of implied for that. So we have 31 CSPR in the balance, right? So let me just move the mouse. Maybe you guys see it. You won't be able to see it. So we have 31 CSPR on every single wallet. Then the question is, what happened to the 69, right? So if it's 100 CSPR per wallet, and 31 of those CSPRs is in the wallet currently, as we can see, then what happened to the other 69 CSPR? Where those 69 CSPR went to? Any guesses? So again, the question is 100 CSPR. We have 30 per validator. 31 out of those 100 is in the wallet. What happened to the 69 then? Where those 69 CSPRs went? Any guesses? Any thoughts? No, that's a good question. So waiting to be mined, Joel, that's a great guess. CryptoGuru, I think 10. Zafir, to the network. What does it mean to the network? So Zafir said 69 went to the network. What does that mean? There's a little bit of delay between kind of the question and the answer. So if you could be slightly more specific. But those are great guesses. CryptoGuru, you're correct. 10 validators live. So the question is about the 69 CSPR. Let's do this. So if there are no answers, maybe I should come with it. So the 69 CSPR is the minimum number of tokens required to become a validator. Yes? So that's why 69 CSPR has been bonded to be a validator, and 31 is left in the wallet for transfers. And that's what we will do this upcoming week, maybe this week or next week, like in the next 2 weeks. The validators have balances, and that's what separates validators from node operators. If you are a full node but not a validator, you don't have a balance. Yet, if you are a validator and those 10 users total became validators, so those validators on the testnet were giving out 100 CSPR per node per validator. 69 got bonded. That's the minimum needed to become a validator. 31 is free. So now for us to nominate new validators, we have 310 CSPR across 10 validators. And because of that, we can nominate additional 4 validators at this point of time. So unless we got to relaunch the testnet, we need to nominate new validators based, I think it was proposal 5, right? Accepted in the whales, how to do this. So of course there are going to be some more or less logical nominations that we have in mind, or at least like I have in mind, but it's all subject to consideration. It's all subject to discussion. But yeah, so that's what is expected of us. So we will be able to start sending balances this week, in the next 2 weeks. And then would be perfect to nominate some of the new validators and supply them with enough of 69 CSPR together so those new validators would be able to actually become validators. That's how this works. Okay. On this positive note, I think we will pause until next week. Thank you so much for participation. Yeah, let's try to beat Sane Network this week. We only have one more note, actually 2 more notes to bring in. So if you can go from 38 to 40, that's going to be a success. One more network is overpowered Sane Network. All right, whales. See you guys next week. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye bye.